Hello and welcome to the Dr. Grant Show. Thank you so much for joining us today. Today, I'm going to be talking about ways to boost your confidence and lose weight using EFT tapping sound bath meditation. If you have ever struggled with trying to lose weight, if you've ever struggled with feelings of shame or guilt when you're working so hard, you're running in place on a treadmill, or maybe with a nicer weather outside, you've decided, I think I'd like to try running slash walking. Unless you're in my neck of the woods and it's almost 100 degrees, maybe we might want to slow down and reduce our speed here to a just leisurely stroll instead of running in 100-degree weather. The point is, have you ever had a time where you felt like you were working so hard? You were trying to do all the right things. You were exercising. You were trying to eat the right things. You were trying to keep your stress levels at an, shall we say, even keel. And yet, and yet, we're not seeing that scale budge. I've dealt with this time and time again. I've also watched my mother deal with this, who's passed away now, time and time again. In my digital wellness practice, where I work with stressed emotional eaters and food addicts and people that are trying to lose weight, we working together have collectively dealt with this time and time again. It feels so often like you are alone in your struggle, especially when you look at social media and online or talk to that friend that seems to eternally, as that person laments, unable to gain weight no matter how hard they try. And it seems like everyone around you is knocking this whole healthy thing or losing weight thing out of the park. And it seems like you're the only person that hasn't been invited to the secret club. If that sounds like you, then you're going to want to stay tuned and spend this half hour with me to learn more about 3 ways actually using EFT tapping sound baths to lose weight and boost confidence are very crucial and pivotal to your journey. And it is a journey. Hi, for those of you that are unfamiliar with me, my name is Dr. Kirsten Grant. I am the host of the Dr. Grant Show. I started this show to help give people complimentary advice, resources, and tips that are stressed emotional eaters, food addicts, and people that are trying to lose weight in a sustainable way. No diets, no fads, but still using scientifically backed approaches and very fun and caring, compassionate manner. I do this and have created this show because I lost my mother to obesity, food addiction, and emotional eating years ago. And I saw her struggle in so many areas. She was wildly intelligent, so intelligent that she even earned a spot as a member of the Mensa Society. That society is only available to people that have a high intelligence level. She astounded everyone with her charm and her zest for life and her vigor. She was a superhero at work, a superhero parent. Yet all of this, she couldn't seem to find a way to migrate it over into losing weight. And it constantly haunted her. This show is for you if you find yourself identifying with what my mother went through. You're looking for scientifically backed ways by maybe someone that's been there, someone that's done that, but something that also takes into account all aspects of your life, a holistic and integrative approach. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about confidence. Let's talk about why you should care about confidence and how it is interwoven and intermeshed into your weight loss efforts. Yeah, I'll only be covering 3 topics in this area. I could certainly have a whole lot of fun and go into more. But if this is something that sounds like you want to have a deeper conversation on, then feel free to go ahead and text "I'm ready" or just "hi" to the number that's listed below, 312-601-8510. Now, let's get into it, shall we? Confidence. Confidence is about more than looking at someone walk into a room and seeming like they have it all together. Often that is what conjures up and comes to mind when we talk about confidence. But no, 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 not so fast. Confidence actually has a very pivotal and crucial foothold in your life in areas that maybe you didn't anticipate. Confidence has a foothold and plays a very integral role in your ability to speak up at work when you are seeking a promotion or even seeking to get an ally or a mentor on your side. Confidence can have a role, a massive role actually, in relationships, from friendships and to maybe people that are almost on their way out with you as a friend to your relationships, because those are still friendships too. You have to be friendly with the person you're in a relationship with in order to make this thing work. How confidence plays in that situation and scenario is feeling comfortable enough to ask for what it is that you desire that and what you need without shame and without the slingshot of guilt afterwards. I recently spoke with a client, for example, where confidence was an issue, and we didn't figure out that it was confidence, so to speak. She just wasn't getting what she wanted in her relationship. And she said, every single time I get into a relationship, the next thing I know, I find myself doing things that I don't want to do. Can anybody relate to that? Feel free to type in the chat. This is an interactive session. And even if you're catching this on the replay, you can still go ahead and type in the chat and I will definitely respond. But can you relate? Have you ever been in a relationship with someone or even a friendship and you found yourself doing things that you sincerely didn't want to do? And it wasn't in a fun, exploratory way where you said, oh, I've never gone parasailing before. Let's try this out. It was something that you absolutely positively know that you deplore, that you don't want to do even on your worst day. You rather take a paper cut to the eye than, than actually do that thing that the person's asking you to do. And even though inside of your mind, everything in your mind and your body is screaming, no, I don't want to do this. I don't want to go drive to the grocery store with you. I hate grocery shopping on Tuesdays. You find yourself saying, okay. That is not a difficulty standing up for myself issue. That is a confidence issue. If you find yourself saying okay to situations where often you know you should say no, you're putting yourself out in situations, for example, where you know you're just simply dog tired. For those moms out there, for those parents out there, how many of us, especially still, I feel, in my humble opinion, coming out of the pandemic at this point in time, we're still trying to catch our breath. We're still a little bit wiped out because although there are people that have different stories where the pandemic was very restful, but for a lot of parents that I speak to in my circle, and I don't know if I'm alone here, we didn't get that rest that everyone's talking about, that great slowdown, that great unwinding. I didn't get to see that rest. I missed that memo. Um, Instead, I wound up being thrust into homeschooling our children with my husband. I wound up trying to be engaging and becoming a teacher. And even though I'm very good at teaching, usually at a collegiate level, I do know how to construct lesson plans. But being thrust into that role is something that's unnatural for me. Finding the confidence in that instance to even ask for what it was that I needed. At the time, I didn't have that confidence. So it results in massive, massive headaches that were debilitating. Why? Because I wasn't getting what I needed. My point in sharing that aspect of my journey with you is confidence is about more than stepping into a room and feeling confident and feeling like you belong and that you should be there. Confidence has a very crucial role and it also interweaves itself into your weight loss efforts because When you are unable to feel confident enough in your career, you wind up not getting what you want. When you feel unconfident in your relationships, you wind up not feeling connected, and then resentment begins to grow. When you feel not confident and unconfident in your friendships, it doesn't feel like a friendship, it feels like a tooth extraction. These things begin to weigh on you and build up resentment. And weight loss, especially for the clients that I work with that struggle with food addiction and emotional eating, is a very funny thing. Everyone's got their coping mechanism. The only difference is for people that are struggling with weight loss, your coping mechanism is worn on the outside versus maybe someone else's coping mechanism, which might be, let's take, for example, gambling. You don't see that. You don't see their bank balance. You don't see what's going on there. That's not really apparent. Drug use, drug addiction, that's not really apparent either. But for people that struggle with obesity, for people that are trying to lose weight, that coping mechanism of binge eating and overeating and emotional eating, anytime you slide backwards into that, so to speak, that becomes very apparent. When you imbibe in it too much, it becomes even more apparent. You're not alone. You're absolutely positively not alone in this. And there are tools that are available to help you. And that is the point of this EFT tapping sound bath meditation. So, how do we turn this ship around, so to speak? There are 3 ways, and you can pick the way that resonates most with you. The first way is to identify what is the environmental situation that's causing you to feel a lack of confidence. Is it something in your environment, at work, or at home? The second thing to help you identify and boost your confidence is to begin to understand who and what are you. Strip away your title. Strip away if you're a parent. Strip away your bank account, your cars, your home. Who and what are you without those things? What is it that you like? Allow me to give you a splash of clarity, a bit more clarity there. What is it that you like? Not what someone told you to like, not what it is that your mother or your father said you should like. Allow your mind to go wild with this. Close your eyes actually right now and just allow yourself for a moment to begin to think about, if there were $1 million in your bank account right now, what would you do? And why would you do it? The third thing, in terms of boosting your confidence, the question that you should definitely ask yourself is, when I'm feeling down, what are 2 things that without saying a word, I wish someone would swoop in and say or give to me? These questions to ask yourself are so crucial and so pivotal, because you begin to get a grasp and a handle on what is it at your soul level you truly want, desire, and need. Before you go into the idea of, especially with that, the scenario of the $1 million, before you get into the idea of I take a trip, ask yourself, take a trip for what? What does taking a trip really mean for you and to you? And let's face it, taking trips is lovely. You can go all around the world, but you still take you with you. Asking yourself these questions is the key, so crucial and such a key to finding out What do you want? Not what you should want because you are female, not what you should want because you are male, not what you should want because of your ethnicity, not what you should want if you were 20 pounds lighter. What do you want right now? And then, just as a bonus, begin to look at what would happen or what would need to change in my life for me to take the first step to becoming this. All right, now that you've got these questions in your mind and your brain is beginning to formulate the answers, and that is the reason why I'm asking these questions and asking you to ask yourself these questions. Your mind can only focus so much on the problem. But when you ask yourself the question, what would happen if I began to take the first step to making myself happy? What would that look like? It forces what's called the reticular activating system to engage in your mind and go to work because you can't stay stuck. You can't stay stuck on the problem. Your brain can't do opposite work. You can't keep focusing on the problem over here and then focus on a solution over here. And you force your brain to divert its attention solely to constructing and offering up ideas to your solution, which is exactly what you want. Now, I haven't forgotten about the EFT tapping sound bath. So let's dive a little bit into, very briefly, a 2-minute definition of what that is and why the heck should you care. EFT tapping is a modality on its own. It stands for Emotional Freedom Technique. The benefits of EFT tapping are scientifically proven to be effective for addressing various items ranging from depression, anxiety, food cravings, weight loss. It's even been used in studies for nurses that were studying for their NCLEX exams, and it's been proven also to help with boosting and retaining your memory because it helps clear away a lot of the mental gook that's usually at work that's keeping you from remembering key points. So the scientific research on EFT tapping is steadily increasing every day, improving its validity. How it works is it works with the major meridians used in acupuncture. Now, you have major meridians and minor meridians, and they are all energetic points all throughout your body from the top of your head to the tips of your feet. You don't need to tap on all of them, and there are hundreds of them, but scientists have found that tapping on just these major meridians brings about change. It's the same principle as acupuncture and acupressure. It's just, well, acupressure, which is really, in my humble opinion, acupuncture without the needles. So for those of you that are squeamish about acupuncture, you'll like this a whole lot better. You start by tapping on what's called the karate chop point here, followed by tapping at the top of the head, followed by using these 2 fingers here, tapping on the side of the inner brow. Outside the brow is next. Tapping here underneath the eye. Tapping here, top of the lip. Tapping here on the chin. Tapping here on the collarbone. And you finally wind up concluding by tapping here 4 inches below the armpit, or if you are a young lady, then that would be on your bra strap. EFT tapping has been proven to be so powerful that it was used as a form of complementary therapeutic intervention in the Sandy Hook Middle School massacre, where a gunman came in and unfortunately targeted teachers and children at that time years ago. And EFT tapping was brought in to help people deal with that traumatic event. So EFT tapping on its own is extremely powerful. Now, let's go into the sound bath portion. Sound baths can be used with your voice. It can be used with these crystal singing bowls, as you see here. They can be used with metal, Tibetan, or Himalayan singing bowls. The terms are used interchangeably. Chimes, gongs. Sound baths have also been scientifically proven, and the research is steadily mounting there as well. Sound baths have been used for remedying pain. They're part of a sound therapy program. You can use it for pain. You can use it also with tuning forks as well to help with anxiety, symptoms of depression, as well as even food cravings, confidence, mental clarity. So, if these things on their own, EFT tapping and sound baths, have been scientifically proven in these areas to work, imagine what happens when you combine these two as one. What happens is your brain winds up going through what's called entrainment. Entrainment means that as you listen to these notes, your brain begins to slow down. And since sound travels through the body quite easily because we are almost 70% water, your body begins to benefit as well with calming down and achieving clarity. I'm giving you the shorter definition of a sound bath. It also helps move your brain waves, as right now, your brain is operating in beta waves, but your brain slows down to move from beta to alpha to theta. Now, there are actually a wee bit more brain waves than that. Gamma, beta, alpha, theta, delta. But for the sake of simplicity, your sound bath will move your brain quickly from beta to alpha to theta. Theta is where you want your brain to be. It helps you concentrate. It helps access the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind is usually at work anytime you're tapping and doing affirmations and your brain is pushing back saying, yeah, but that doesn't apply to you. So we help rewire and recode your mind. So the purpose of this episode is to give you just a brief sampler, a mini EFT tapping sound bath meditation. I enjoy customizing these for my clients because the more exchange that we have, the better and more powerful the sound bath is. Customarily, when we have these one-on-one or corporate wellness sessions, a sound bath will last for an hour. It could be as long as 2 hours, and it's extremely rejuvenating. So without further ado, let's work together on your confidence using EFT tapping sound bath. Let's begin. You start by holding up your hand. I'm right-handed. Hold up these two fingers. Start tapping on the karate chop point. Begin to think of a situation. When was the last time you felt a lack of confidence for something that was important to you? Maybe something that happened in the last week or two, where you felt you should have said one thing, but all of a sudden you found yourself saying something else. Breathe in, breathe out. Allow that picture to come to your mind. Now, I want you to rank that. Rank how you feel about that situation on a scale of 1 to 10. 8 and above being that situation was overwhelming. I had no resources to deal with it. I'm so not happy. 2, 3, and below being I was in complete control and command in that situation. I felt really good about it. Do so now. Assign a number to that situation. Now, breathe in and breathe out. Begin tapping on the karate chop point and repeat after me. Even though that situation that happened, I wanted to say what was truly in my mind. In some kind of way, I wound up saying something else that wasn't in sync with what I truly wanted and believed. And I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. Continue tapping on that karate chop point. Breathe in, breathe out. Continue tapping on the karate chop point. When ready, move to tapping at the top of the head. Breathe in, breathe out, and repeat after me. Even though I may have felt guilty, I may have thought about what I should have said, what I should have done. Maybe I should have walked away. I give myself permission to think about this situation and use this situation as a lesson. I made the best decision that I could at the time with the resources that I had available. And I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. Breathe in, breathe out. Continue tapping at the top of the head. When ready, move to tapping on the inner brow and repeat after me. I give myself permission. I give myself permission. I give myself permission to experience life. I give myself permission to say what needs to be said, to express my true wants and needs, because I am important. I matter. My thoughts and opinions matter. My feelings and emotions matter. Some people may agree with me, and that's okay. Some people may not agree with me, and that's okay too. And I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. Continue tapping on the inner brow. Move to tapping on the outer brow and repeat after me. Even though in the past I may not have gotten what I expected when I said what needs to be said, it does not mean that the past writes my future. And I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. Continue tapping on the outer brow. When ready, move to tapping underneath the eye and repeat after me. Even though in the past things didn't work out as I planned, and I may have blamed myself for that, I now realize that I'm not at fault. I now realize I was working with the resources that I had at that time. I realize now that every situation is different. There are many variables. I now realize that if I had said, done, moved in that same way in a different situation, the outcome would be different. So I'm now unafraid to use my voice. I'm unafraid to express what it is I truly need. And I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. Continue tapping underneath the eye. Breathe in, breathe out. When ready, move to tapping on the top of the lip. And repeat after me. Even though I may have forgotten my victories, the times when I did speak up, the times when I leaned into that gentle nudge, I'm giving my mind permission to remember the times when it did work out. Everything can work out for me. Everything can work out for me. And I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. Continue tapping on the upper lip. When ready, move to tapping on the chin and repeat after me. Whatever prevented me in the past from saying what needed to be said, speaking the true desires of my heart, telling people unapologetically what I truly needed. I release those bonds now. I feel the spark in my heart, that gentle knowing that I always was enough, that my voice matters, my opinions and my experience, they matter. They are important, and they deserve to be heard. And I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. Breathe in, breathe out. Now move to tapping on the collarbone and repeat after me. Even though I realize now this is transformation. Even though I wasn't aware before that this is a journey to self-discovery. I'm going to give myself the time. I'm going to give myself the patience that I need, that I deserve to learn what it is I need to learn about myself. And I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. Continue tapping on that collarbone. Final point. Get ready. Begin tapping underneath the arm, 4 inches below the armpit or on your bra strap. And repeat after me. I lean in to the process of transformation. I lean in and give myself permission for anything that happens during this journey. There's no such thing as a mistake. Only lessons, only learnings. With each lesson, I grow. And I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. Place both hands at your sides. Breathe in and breathe out. And allow this last round of waves to wash over you. Breathe in, breathe out. One more time. Breathe in, breathe out. Wiggle your fingers and rotate them counterclockwise, then clockwise. Wiggle your toes a little bit. Now, how do we feel about that old problem that we used to have with confidence? Rank it now on a scale of 1 to 10. Once again, 8 and above being this problem that you were struggling with, this situation you were struggling with. It was unwieldy. It was overwhelming. You felt like you didn't have the resources and tools to handle it. With 3 and below, feeling like, I think I have a handle on this. I think I can find resources. I know I can find resources. Just rank and give yourself a number now. What you should be experiencing now is at least 2 levels numerically below where you originally started. Feel free to type in the chat either now, or if you want to send me a direct message. Once again, the number is listed below at 312-601-8510. Feel free to save this as well. Refer to it whenever you need a confidence boost. Once again, the key here is as you peel back the layers of what's truly causing you to experience lower levels of confidence, you begin to solve your problem. And that boost in confidence as you clear things out energetically, psychologically, you solve your problems and you lower your stress levels. And when you begin to lower your stress levels, the weight begins to fall away without all these trying, tasteless diets, without obscene levels of exercise, without a complete gutting of your life as you know it. Change becomes easier instead of harder. You are pulled towards the healthier alternatives and actually have the energy to partake upon them instead of feeling like you were pushed into it. And that is the feeling that you want, that feeling of momentum, that feeling of change, but not change for the sake of change. Your subconscious mind, it can't get with that program because it doesn't see the point. So this is the reason why, for example, when you say you're going to say something in that meeting, when you say you're going to work out, when you say you're going to talk to that person that you think might be a perfect match for you, The intention is there, but the actions aren't. So let's work towards getting to the root. Let's work towards peeling back the layers that have been putting mortar and building a brick wall between you and your worth, and between you and what you truly, truly, truly deserve for your life. As we begin to clear this away, you begin to see pinpricks of light in not only your heart and soul, but pinpricks of light of possibility of what truly is and could be yours. It's not as hard as people make it out to be, but you do need a guide. You do need some help. Looking at it from only your perspective, you can only see it through that one lens. But when you have someone that looks at it through a different perspective, it's truly vested in your success and willing to take that time with you, possibilities begin to open up where previously they didn't exist, along with the roadmap to get there. All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me for the Dr. Grant Show. The Dr. Grant Show is on live on Wednesdays at 9 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time and on Saturdays at 1 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Feel free to join us during those times. If you'd like to have and continue this conversation, once again, feel free to send me a private direct message on any social media platform, or just simply send us a text once again at 312-601-8510. Thank you so much. Much love to you guys. Bye.